Welcome to Biz Dev Live. My name is Cameron Toth, and I have the pleasure to introduce you today to the awesome Annie Deering. Annie Deering, get that right before the end of the day. Awesome Annie is somebody that I was introduced through Master Networks and is somebody that lives that name, Awesome Annie. She's somebody that has had an amazing health journey. She's somebody that brings a lot of energy and spirit into every room, virtual or physical, that she walks into. I'm really excited to get the chance to share her with you today. We're going to talk health. We're going to talk being awesome. We're going to talk about how to make sure that there's positive change in your life, all that and more right after the Biz Dev theme.
Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz Dev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T.
Annie Deering, also known as Awesome Annie, is an independent certified health coach, a wife, a mom of 5. As a health coach and owner of a thriving health coaching business, she helps others in 3 areas: healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. Her greatest measure of success is celebrating others when they become the healthiest and most awesome version of themselves. Because as she has discovered, being healthy is awesome, and being awesome is amazing. Thank you for being with me. Welcome to the show, Miss Annie Deering.
Hey, thank you so much, Cameron. What a privilege, what an honor to be a guest on your show. I am so grateful for the shutdown, in the sense that without Master Networks going virtual, I never would have met you, because you're all the way out there in New York and I am here in Dallas. And it's been such an honor and a blessing to call you my friend and call you my mentor.
Well, thank you. It's been similarly. I've had that same experience where I think it's just been an amazing opportunity to meet people across the country. You'd like to think that we would have met in some way, somehow, some form. I don't know how that would have been though, right? So the opportunity to meet through Master Networks. I just joined serendipitously 4 months before, we went into this kind of pandemic shutdown mode. I joined December of 2019.
Oh my gosh, same. That's right.
Yeah. And 4 months later, we're all online, meeting virtually. Luckily, folks from Texas were coming into New York meetings and vice versa. And we created some opportunities to actually get to know each other. I think that aspect of networking, if folks aren't doing that, aren't reaching out outside of their neighborhood. I talk about it so much in college and career mentorship for high school students. If you've only been in a little area and you've never known anything, and similarly, if you get comfortable as a business owner or somebody that's, living the entrepreneurial journey and you aren't sort of, really connecting with minds outside of your immediate community, I think you're not doing, all the things that you could easily do to really expand your mind and be of that growth minded, kind of mindset. I know we're going to talk on some of these kind of topics in terms of getting outside of your comfort zone and really, creating some change. And I think that's one of the great ways is the networking piece and making sure that you're maybe in a mastermind group or doing things where you're meeting different people that aren't in your normal circle of folks to really get some different perspectives on things and create that team. I know our Master Networks tidbit for the week has been, getting that team and bringing different people into your sphere. And I think that's really important. Yeah.
As I say, kudos to Master Networks, because it's a different kind of, I mean, not that this is what this platform is for, but in that, like, they have that, like, I've done networking with other groups or whatever. This is the first time where they teach and posture that abundance mindset, where it's not what you know or who you know, but rather who knows you. And they helped us entrepreneurs really thrive in a time when other businesses, other entrepreneurs may be having to shut their doors. And it's such a, blessing to be a Master Networks friend with you.
No, absolutely. Yeah. The idea, I mean, one of the things that I've gotten, and one of the reasons I think we connected, was the whole bond approach and just really getting folks stories, because it's not like our businesses had a natural fit. We're not a vendor of each other. We're not necessarily clients of each other, but, the fact that we can come together and really just enjoy each other in terms of somebody that, we can bring into our sphere of influence, because we recognize that there's something to offer beyond just a transactional piece. That story piece and building relationships has been a big thing for me. All that to say, please tell people what you're doing right now to help people, because I know you are definitely bringing awesome into people's lives. So tell people how you're doing that.
So I guess we can start with how I came with the name Awesome. It's my husband, my husband, James Deering, he's a local jazz artist. He used to teach at a local college in town, and he loved his job. He loved what he did, but he was stressed. And as a result, like, things that weren't aligning with his vision of his life, they weren't aligning with what he was doing. And he was listening to a podcast or read an article or something about being the awesome version of you. And that's where we started doing that as a family, husband and wife, like pouring into each other. What does the awesome version of you look like? And I'm watching him say, well, Awesome James is happy. Awesome James loves his work. Awesome James is a present father, is a present husband. And hearing that, he encouraged me, what does the awesome version of you look like? So at that time, I was in another direct sell business. I was in a direct selling business where I sold vinyl lettering, inspiring words. I love that. I was very passionate about it. I have a degree in writing from University of North Texas, and I love the power of words. And this will play into, like, when we talk about positive affirmations. Words have meaning, and to hear him speak positive affirmations over himself, it was so inspiring to me. And in my business, I use that for my business. Awesome Annie is a selling machine. Like, Awesome Annie recruits clients. Awesome Annie recruits other consultants. And within my network back then, this was 2009, somewhere in there, 2009 to about 2017, I was known as Awesome Annie, consistently in the top in sales and in recruiting. However, Awesome Annie was in a lot of pain. That's where a little bit of my health journey came in, because at the end of the day, I didn't love who I saw in the mirror. And my husband was like, you've got to stop saying that to you. You can't hate yourself and call yourself Awesome Annie. And that was a struggle with me. So, a little backstory. Let me move forward to where I am now. So what I do now is I empower and equip other people to find that hope within themselves, to be the healthy, awesome version of themselves. Now, my health journey started years before this Awesome Annie came to fruition. I grew up slender. I was always described as a skinny kid. I was always described, like, as a teenager, as a young adult, I was described as a slender kid. My older brother, who I adore, I look up to him, he's one of my favorite people in the world. He had always struggled with his weight, even as a young kid. So when family members would see us, it's like Annie was the skinny kid and his name was Abe. Abe was always the husky kid. And he had that mindset of hope, always looking to get better and to be better. And I, as his little sister, would watch. And I was always inspired by him he was constantly looking. And so he was trying all the things, whether it was counting calories, whether it was going to the gym, whether it was getting exercise, all of those things, I was watching him. However, my mindset was very unhealthy in that I didn't need that. It was fun to watch him and cheer him on, but my mindset was, I'm slender. I don't need that. And so later on, fast forward, when we were in college together, we went to University of North Texas together. He was constantly still searching for better health. And I was just living my life. I was eating whatever I wanted to, sleeping, like pulling all-nighters, sometimes sleeping in, skipping meals, because I was okay with that lifestyle because I was still healthy. And he was constantly trying to be better about his health, trying to find a way to break the chains of unhealth. And I remember him calling me after class one day and he said, Hey, Annie, a bunch of us are going to the gym to work out. Do you want to join us? His mindset was health is something we can all do. My mindset was only those who are overweight and need to go to the gym, go to the gym. So I was visibly offended. I was like, excuse me, that is really rude. I don't need to go to the gym. It's funny to me now because he was trying to encourage me to live a healthy life and I totally rejected it because I didn't have that mindset. So when my husband and I, when James and I got married, I was about 125, 130, and I'm 5'5". So it was a very healthy, technically a healthy BMI, but those bad habits of skipping meals, all of those things, and we have 5 children, we have 5 beautiful, quirky, smart children. The pregnancies, I slowly gained weight little by little. The problem was my mindset was, oh, it's okay. I can see my scale going higher and I can feel the pains of being overweight, like the pain in my knees and back. But my mindset was, as soon as I deliver the baby, I will nurse, I will go to the gym, I will do what my brother did back then to try and get healthy. I went from 125 to over 200, even when pregnant. And again, the mindset was constantly, it's okay. It's okay. You can get you'll do the things once the baby is born. So when I was pregnant with number 5 in 2010, I got into the 200 plus, but I was okay with that because I was pregnant. And I was actually at the door of diabetes, gestational diabetes. And I was okay with it because I failed the test the first time, but I passed the test the second time. So again, those should have been alarm bells. Annie, you have got to do something to change your life. But I didn't. I kept doing those bad habits, eating whatever I wanted to, skipping meals, not looking at food and as a way to fuel my body, but rather as to fuel my feelings. So in 2014, when my baby, the youngest of 5, was 4 years old, that's when I looked in the mirror and I'm like, something has got to change. And I remembered my brother trying all the things to get healthy. And that's when I began years of yo-yo dieting. I tried everything under the sun. Pretty much you name it, I probably tried it. Minus surgery, I did not try it. I will say I contemplated it, but in that moment of trying to find something, I was still doing really well in my business, in my networking. So I was Awesome Annie, but at the end of the day, when I looked in the mirror, I did not feel awesome. I looked in the mirror and I saw the pain in my eyes. I could feel the pain in my body. I was swollen, inflammation. I had severe eczema. My knees and joints were swollen. So I want to share a pivotal moment in my entrepreneur career. I believe it was 2014 when the company I was with was under an umbrella company, and that umbrella had a big event coming up where they were going to be closing the bell in NASDAQ. And that company owned several companies, including the one that I was a part of. My company, called Uppercase Living, decided that one person out of the 4,000, almost 5,000 consultants will get to be participating in that event. And I, Awesome Annie, was gunning to be that person. I was constantly doing the sales, recruiting the people, doing all the things to be get entries into that to earn that trip to New York City. And I was consistently earning trips like to Cancun, to the Bahamas. These are high accolades that I had in my entrepreneur business. When it was announced that they were about to pull the name, I was on my seat. I was like, whose name are they going to pull? They pulled my name. My name out of 4 to 5,000 consultants. I get to be the one representing Uppercase Living to stand on that platform in New York City at the NASDAQ to be able to be with them when the leader of our company rang the closing bell. Big pivotal moment as an entrepreneur. I mean, how many of us as entrepreneurs dream of something like that? Here I am, a stay-at-home mother, a college professor. I get to do this. I mean, it was brilliant. It was such an amazing moment. After it was announced, it was a big celebration. Confetti was thrown. It was really big. I went back to the hotel room and I looked in the mirror and I cried. I looked in the mirror and I could again see the inflammation, the swelling, the pain that I was suffering. I was morbidly obese. I was standing at the door of diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I knew that something needed to change. And when I looked in the mirror, even though I won this amazing, awesome award, I did not feel like Awesome Annie. When I won the award, they were cheering, Awesome Annie, Awesome Annie. But I didn't feel I earned it. I did not feel I felt that there were the imposter syndrome, that there are other people who deserved it more than me. And I have to get healthy. I have to do something. And I tried so many things to lose weight. And the good news is there are so many diets out there. I'm not here to knock anyone and their health journey and whatever they're doing. If what you're doing is working, by all means, I'm here to celebrate you and help you, cheer you on in your health journey. The good news is a lot of those things worked until they didn't for me. Because I could not change my mindset, all those bad habits of eating my emotions would come flooding back whenever something happened. So I would lose 10, 20, 30 pounds, depending on what program, what diet, what drink I was, using for that week or that month. And then something would happen, a death in the family, a stress in the family, or going to a celebration. And I would go back and eat my emotions, eat my feelings, and I would put the weight back on plus some. So in 2019, I was laid off. January 2019, I was laid off from my corporate job. So as someone who's a recovering food addict, someone who eats her emotions, imagine that moment, the depression that would follow, being told by someone in leadership that not only is your position eliminated, we don't even have a place for you in our corporate world. I was on yet another program at that moment, I think for the third time, to try and get healthy. And the emotions, the depression that flooded my heart was overwhelming. I would have eaten this desk if it was dipped in chocolate, if that would have, soothed my breaking heart from being laid off from this job that I loved. It was a training and development position. I loved what I did. I loved my team. And it was just heartbreaking to be laid off like that. The second thing that happened is someone posted a picture of me on social media and I did not recognize myself. I was shocked. I thought it was a mistake. I'm like, who is that? Oh my goodness, that's me. In the picture, it was a volleyball picture. My daughter was playing volleyball and I was one of the parents standing on the sidelines. I didn't have shoes on because my feet were so swollen. Once I got to the stage, to the stadium, the seats, I had to take my boots off because my feet were in pain, and I didn't bother to put it back on to stand and cheer my daughter. You could see the inflammation. You could see how morbidly obese I was. And I was shocked. I was like, that's what people see? Where did I go? What happened? The third thing, in the pivotal moment that changed everything, was I was in my car with my children and we were singing some praise and worship songs. And there's a song called Our God is an Awesome God. And I caught a reflection of myself while we were praising and singing this song. And I saw my reflection and I was overcome with a flood of hate and despair. And I despised that reflection looking back at me. And then I was slapped in the face with the realization that I am singing, Our God is an Awesome God. Where did Awesome Annie go? And I broke down and I cried. I can't do this anymore. I have to be healthy. What does Awesome Annie look like? Awesome Annie is healthy. Awesome Annie is teaching her family what healthy living looks like. I had watched my sister-in-law around that time shed weight and keep it off. and she was a health coach, and I cried in tears. I reached out to my sister Jolene, and I said, what are you doing over there? What are you doing that's different? How are you able to keep the weight off and like lose the weight and keep it off? And she said, it's your habits. Let's walk through what you do on a daily basis. What does healthy habits look like? And weight loss and weight management is just a natural side effect of that. I was blown away. And I said, sign me up, be my coach, teach me these healthy habits that you're talking about. My husband asked me a question at that moment that really started the opening, the awakening in me of mindset change. He says, what makes this different? I have watched you for years. I will support you. I love you. I will support you in whatever you do. But what makes having Jolene as your health coach, what makes having a health coach, what makes this program different from all the things that you've done in the past? And I said, I thought about it. And I said, for the first time, I see that light at the end of the tunnel. This is not something to help me lose weight today or tomorrow, but I see Awesome Annie next year. I see Awesome Annie 10 years from now. I see myself as an awesome mother raising up an awesome, healthy family. I see that hope for for the first time. And it reminded me that really, honestly, I have had that glimmer of hope all along because I have tried something over and over and over again. And now being a health coach and awakening hope in other people is it thrills me. It's so exciting. So like, for example, that hope, like my brother had to try and get healthy, that hope is what kept me pushing forward to try and do something, anything to get healthy. At some point in my life, like when I was as a mother raising children, I was forced to take off my wedding ring because my fingers were too swollen. And I was sad about that. It was a very heartbreaking moment to have to take off my wedding bands. And people were telling me, what if you resize them? Just resize it. But that tiny glimmer of hope was like, no, I will one day be healthy again. And I want to be able to slip on my original wedding band.
Nice.
You guys, I'm wearing my original. I never resized it. To be able to slip that back on, powerful. And now to be able to, when clients come to me, I love it when they don't have hope because I am overflowing with hope to help them find that awesome, healthy version of themselves. And then to stand, like one of my coach friends, Jonathan Darby, he shared like what he loves about being a health coach, and I have adopted it. To stand on this side of hope and watch it awaken in someone else is euphoric. It is amazing. I love it. To be able to, like when a client says, I can fit into a roller coaster with my children. That was my why. Why are you doing this? I want to do it for my kids. Why? Because my kids love roller coasters and I love roller coasters. This is a true testimony from one of my clients. She was like, why are you doing this? Because I want to be healthy for my kids. But why? She says, because I love roller coasters. I love them. My kids love roller coasters and I can't fit into a roller coaster. My moment of hope awakening was when she sent me a picture, beaming ear to ear, in the roller coaster with her son. I'm like crying tears of joy. Amazing.
I love that.
So amazing.
I love that. Talk to us about, going from this moment of, everything that you've done before to actually finding something. Cause I know I really related to the, being, let's dip this table in chocolate and I'm ready to eat it. Right. I know that I've had those moments and I know the habit thing is so huge because you just get to that moment, and you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing, maybe not sleeping, maybe, eating things that you shouldn't be eating, but you're just doing it anyways because you feel locked in that piece. I also want to shout out, I'm not sure who My Global World is. You probably know better than me who My Global World is. And then AC Williams says, inspirational. Annie makes everyone believe I can too. Shout out to the folks watching this, and hopefully we'll get some questions about habits and that sort of things from the audience so we can help them. But talk to us about that moment of going from, that you're doing things and it's not really progressing to this, but now life forward, I got something that I can sort of be on for the rest of my life. You spoke,
Yes.
but I think for folks that are going through this whole process, I know I've gone up in weight because I've stopped getting some exercise in. I got a knee thing now. These different things, these challenges that come in, the up and down with the weight. What are those? What sort of speaks to you in terms of this? I can do this, and I can do this for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh, great question. So the pivotal moment is not that it's our parents' fault, but when we think about, but I'm going to throw my parents under the bus here. We inadvertently have lived, we're creatures of habit. So we live a life of fueling our feelings. Our taste buds are extremely sensitive. And we, as parents, like raise your hand if you're out there, how many of you guys, you had to tell your children, you had a really rough day at school. Let's go by and get some ice cream. Like, let's cheer you up. Or you had a great day. You won the soccer game. Oh my gosh, let's go celebrate with some ice cream. And we know that those are treats, but it's a habit that's easy to fall into. It's a trap that's easy to fall into. I posture food, what I coach is food is neither good nor bad, but rather learn to look at it as its nutritional value. Is what I'm about to eat going to get me closer to my health goals or farther away? Is what I'm about to eat going to fuel my feelings, or is it going to fuel my body? And all of my clients, we get, I set it aside. We get this book called Habits of Health. Hold on, let me grab it. And now that's embarrassing. I had it right here. I think one of my kids might have borrowed it. Oh no, here it is. We get this book. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health. I want to share one of the introduction. This was so powerful for me. At the very essence of this book and the evolution of the Habits of Health transformation system is the union of two powerful forces, medical science and that personal drive to become a higher version of ourselves. That is what I do. I take the medical science of what it looks like to live a healthy life, why fasting may not work long-term, why some pills or supplements may not work long-term. Dr. Anderson postures that our body, we have a 10,000-year-old body living in modern times. What does that mean? That means that back then, our ancestors, what did they do? Their job, if you will, was to hunt and gather food. Their body naturally would then eat everything they got as a survival mechanism. They would use just a little bit of that as energy to live, store the rest as fat, because what if the next day when they do their job to hunt and gather, what if they got nothing? Their body's like, it's okay, I got you. We will live off the stored fat so that you can live another day, raise your family, and survive. It was a survival technique. Fast forward to now. Physiologically speaking, Dr. Anderson, in this book, he postures that physiologically speaking, our bodies have not changed. Think about the pandemic. We had that natural desire to survive. Oh my goodness, we're out of toilet paper. What do? We stock up on all the toilet paper. So in terms of food and nutrition, we are going to the store. We think about who's in our family, how many children we have, how much food can I buy to last me this week or next week. We put it all in our pantry, in our kitchen, in our fridge, and then we try and live. But there's stress. We are stressed out by the pandemic, and we naturally find ourselves gravitating to the pantry, to the fridge, to the kitchen, to what? Eat everything that was supposed to be for 2 weeks. We eat it in 2 days. It's a natural, and so then our bodies will store fat because it's a survival technique. Dr. Anderson instead postures, if you knew how to properly fuel your body, taking emotion out of it, this is what it would look like. You would wake up, you would drink water so that your body is naturally craving water throughout the day. We need to stay hydrated, minimum 64 ounces of water a day. And if you're in a weight loss, trying to lose weight, then you need to flush those toxins out. So the goal is half your body weight in ounces of water. And then, so you want to drink something within 30 minutes of waking up, and then you want to eat something nutrient dense, high protein within an hour of waking up. And then you want to eat consistently every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. What does that look like? Breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, evening snack. By fueling your body, you're eating to fuel, you're eating to live, not living to eat. You're eating like you're fueling your body. What happens? Your body is going to realize Annie is feeding me properly. I can start letting go some of this fat. You get that fat burn energy. You're living it's amazing lifestyle. So that science, that desire that people have to get healthy, they know that there's something there. I got to eat more salads. I got to eat more lean protein. I need to like cut back on the sugar. They have that mindset. They understand that they need to do it, but they don't fully understand what to do, how to do it. Let me coach you. I would be like, it's such a blessing to be able to say, it's so easy, just like kind of like a airplane steward, like, do this, do that. And so then what about exercise? What about movement? So we posture healthy movement where it's not diet and exercise. I'm going to eat this and then run 10 miles to counter what I ate.
I want to take this a little step by step because I think
Sure.
We can talk about things like exercise. Nobody needs to say that exercise is important. Hopefully in 2021, we don't need to educate anybody on the necessity of exercise. Hopefully people understand that if you want to have muscle in your body and you want to have a good health, that exercise is somehow important. I don't think anybody, unless they've been just literally living in a cave somewhere with no outside influences, doesn't understand that exercise.
But a lot of people don't have that desire for it. And so we posture, it's a healthy thing to do.
I wanted to get into it just because, all right, so exercise is important. Mm-hmm. On that same note, eating healthy is important. You talked about the need for several meals. I know when we talked about this initially, one of the big things turns off for me is in terms of productivity. I don't like eating throughout the day because I feel like I never stop once I start, right? And then it's a time, right? So I stop because I can't be working at the desk and eating. So how do you kind of talk to people about this healthy eating? I have some ideas on what it kind of looks like. I know I got the guy that says, drinking water, and then I have a protein bar in the morning, and that's, how I go through it. But what are the ways, for people that are trying to get things done and eat right and exercise in terms of a day? How do you sort of talk about the time piece of it?
That's a great question. So the thing to remember, especially entrepreneurs, is if we're not taking a mental break throughout the day, then we run the risk of being burned out. So one of the things that we posture is healthy mind. So healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. So I help with the healthy body, but also the healthy mind. And I love that being able to take a moment away from what I'm doing, that goals that I'm trying to hit in my business. I can look and then take a moment to just enjoy what I'm eating, whether it's Greek yogurt, whether it's lean protein. I love shrimp, whether it's grilled veggies, whatever it is, to actually learn, like to be thankful that this is what I'm doing to fuel my body. It's a different mindset of, oh, I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat. That's a dangerous mindset to get into, because then the body's like, well, Annie hasn't eaten and I'm not sure what she's going to do tomorrow and I need to survive. So let me hold on to the fat. So by reprogramming our daily habits and just learning, like, to understand the why we're doing this, like why it's important to fuel the body consistently throughout the day, then I am proactive in scheduling my day. I plan out what my day looks like what my day looks like tomorrow. Where will I be? Like, for example, if I'm going on a hike with my children, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to plan out, okay, these are the things that I'm going to take with me, knowing that I'm going to set an alarm. I want to get my body in that habit that Annie is going to fuel consistently throughout the day, because otherwise, me personally, if I don't, then at the end of the day, I am ravenous. I want to eat my arm off, and I succumb to bad habits of trying to overcompensate for not fueling my body throughout the day. And so when it comes to my work, like throughout the week, my work day looks like okay, so I have these meetings. Okay, so I can't be eating pasta, like, because we have an amazing penne pasta, high protein penne pasta dinner. I can't be eating that during the meeting. So let me put that for the dinner, and instead let me have a quick bar or a quick milkshake or something that is discreet, that I can eat in a meeting, or a quick. And having that mindset, like planning it out, being purposeful, being intentional with what I'm doing, helps my mindset know that I am doing this for the long term. I want to be able to posture it and model it for my children as a mother, because I don't want my children, especially my 3 daughters, to wake up one day not knowing what healthy habits are, and to wake up the way I did, overweight, sick, and not doing well in life.
Yeah, I want to just shout out Santa Williams. This is some great information. You are awesome. Jolene also, I'm assuming this is the same Jolene that we were
That's
talking
my
about.
Jolene. Yes, that's my sister-in-law. I thank God she's such a blessing in my life. I thank God for her.
I had a question I was going to, and I think I just lost it by going into the comments, but the idea of, I think, diet and pushing that forward in terms of, all the different aspects of your life. You have, the things that you're trying to do, the goals that you're trying to reach. How should somebody be thinking about, all right, I want to feel happy. I want to feel content. I want to eat well. I want to exercise well. How do I fit all of it in? And hopefully that's not a repeat of the same question, but I think the different angle there is that the idea of, because I think it's a complicated thing, right? We're all looking for balance. We're all looking for this we're looking for it all, right? At the end of the day, we're looking to be healthier, to be more productive, to get more done. How can we take it step by step and figure out the first thing to change, right? And then to move on to the next. I mean, in terms of the takeaways that we were talking about today, I mean, I think this goes into, to understand that nothing will change if nothing changes, right?
Right.
So what's the first change that leads to the second change? Because it's not one thing. I know for my life, one of the things I'm working on is when one door closes on my exercise, which is what happened. I have my biking situation, with me, and I was running. That door closed. Now I got my knee and the weather and da-da-da. So that door closed. So, all right, no matter what, I need this for my happiness. I need it for my health. I need it. And I can't let whatever roadblock that decides to pop up today get in the way of it. But I definitely have a preference to going out and biking for an hour versus going upstairs to the 3rd floor to the kids' room where the carpet is and doing calisthenics and stretches and being
right.
for an hour. That's not as fun to me as going out on the bike for an hour. So I just tend not to do it.
Yeah. So the best answer, I guess, to start with is that why. Awaken the why. So when someone, like I mentioned earlier, whatever, like this may not be, my program may not be a good fit for everyone, right? You and I chatted about that. And I want to say, whatever someone is doing, I want to awaken in them longevity, long-term sustainability. So when someone says to me, I'm going to start a diet next week, or I'm going to do this for a month, or I'm going to do whatever, I want to ask them, then what? Is what you're doing going to always get you to your goal? Or is this what you're going to do for short term? And then what are you going to do? What are you going to change in your life? So when it comes to that mindset, we like, a friend asked me recently, we were chatting about my program, and he asked me, so will I have to give up ribs? It's like, no, you don't have to give up ribs. Like that, like your favorite foods, whatever that is, you don't have to give it up. Instead, let's change our mindset about it. Maybe less ribs, like not all the ribs on the table, and like have that understanding of like, okay, what does healthy nutrition look like?
And let me just reinforce that, because I think for folks that are like, oh, am I going to have to give up my ribs? You will have to give up ribs when your doctor says you can't eat any more ribs or you're going to have a heart attack because you're this far along. And that moment's already happened for me. My doctor said, I have high blood pressure. No more French fries from McDonald's. You can't do it. It's off the table. Nope, not one. Right. And so I think that's important too for folks to realize is like, and obviously I could go and, I'm not breaking any laws. I'm just hurting myself. And then it goes back to, am I going to be around for my kids? And I know for myself, it was Whitney Marshall says, I'm not giving up ribs.
You don't have to.
I know for me, it's like, going back to that why, I came out of the doctor's office crying when I got my blood pressure back down, because although while he was talking about it in the initial part of it, once I got that realization where they said your blood pressure come down, it was like an incredible relief. I hardened myself up. I was like, I will do what I got to do. And I didn't really when the doctor told me your blood pressure is back to normal, and that little relief of like, you're not going to die and leave your wife with the 4 kids in the lurch. Right. It was a big deal. And I left the office crying in my car just because it's like, this incredible sense of relief. And I know people are going through, different versions of this. We have folks, in our communities. AC Williams, weight loss is interesting and maybe not fascinating. So what makes doing what you do what makes doing what you do so worthwhile? I think this is what he's trying to say. Let me know if that's not right, AC, and we'll ask it correctly. So it's something that I think people are going through, and it makes a difference for folks. Get it done, and then it's a lot easier to treat yourself and have that off meal. Go enjoy some good Texas BBQ.
I love that. Like, to have that off meal. That's one of my most frequently asked questions is, can I cheat? Hey, coach, can I cheat? And the answer is every day is a cheat day. Because if you change your mindset, it's not a cheat. Instead, it's a choice. Is what you're doing, is what you're about to eat going to get you closer to your health goals or farther away? And so what weight loss is interesting and maybe not fascinating. So what makes doing what you do so worthwhile? There you go, AC. It's worthwhile to me because I had that glimmer of hope. I thought it was dead. I thought that glimmer of hope was gone. That moment when in 2019, when I was 235 pounds, I thought like it was easier for me to see myself going the other direction, 300. You should see some of my before and after pictures. It was easier for me to see to go the other way. To know that now that I had that tiny bit of hope, but I didn't see it at that moment, that's what excites me. I love it when someone comes to me and tells me, I don't know. I just want to try one more thing. I don't know if will work, but I'll give you 30 days. Like, give me 30 days. I will awaken that hope in you because I see that tiny glimmer of hope in you. I see it and I will awaken it and I will make it a fire. And then to be on this side of that flame, to be on this side of that fire, and like we're standing hand in hand, like just celebrating all the victories, the scale victories, the non-scale victories. I love that you mentioned your high blood pressure, Cameron, because I love this story. The lady in my church, I adore her so much. She called me one time. I do weekly coach calls with my clients, and she called me and she said, Annie, last week was bad, but she's smiling. Actually, it wasn't a call. I saw her at church, like it was in the narthex of our church. She's like, Annie, I had a bad week, but she was smiling. I'm like, this is weird. Why is she smiling and telling me she had a bad week? She's like, I wasn't feeling good. I had to go to the doctor. And she's smiling, like giddy. I'm like, what is going on with this lady? Like, friend, what's going on? She said, I couldn't figure out why I was feeling sick. So I went to the doctor. He did some blood work. And Annie, my blood pressure medicine is too high. It's too much. I needed to lower my blood pressure medicine. She was jumping in the church. I was just like, it was COVID. So we were social distancing, but we were like this, like, yay. It was such a blessing, that feeling that you have. So AC, why is this worth it? Like, what makes this so worthwhile? standing on this side of hope, being able to walk with someone and like find that glimmer of fire in them, that hope in them, and then make it a flame and just awaken in them that this is possible. The awesome, healthy version of them can be achieved, will be achieved. I love it. Being healthy is awesome. I love it. It's such an, like, I want to help people find awesome AC, awesome Jolene, awesome Annie. Who is the other person? Whitney, awesome Whitney. What does that look like? I'm here for it.
Whitney's I am not giving up ribs. I love it. And Santa, Santa Williams as well.
Thank you, Santa.
I want to talk about drowning out doubt with positive affirmations, because I feel like that we can all use that, right? So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So that moment when I earned that trip to New York, looking in the mirror and having that imposter syndrome, looking in the mirror and not loving Awesome Annie. Like this was a coveted award. Like I should have been thrilled. My close friend Tora, who we shared a hotel room with, she looked at me. She goes, "Why are you so sad? Like you won. Like you earned this, Annie. You worked hard for it. Why are you so sad?" And I just tearfully told her I didn't feel that I deserved it. And that's like, it dove back into, what does Awesome Annie look like? Awesome Annie is an amazing person. Awesome Annie is beautiful. Awesome Annie is healthy. And I'm like, Awesome Annie will shed this weight, and like finding that glimmer of hope and being able to speak that. So then as a health coach, I now have daily affirmations. Like this is something that our team, Jolene and our other mentor, Ashley Martin, Jolene Deering and Ashley Martin, this is something that they pour into us, daily affirmations. And I know a lot of my networking friends do this. We wake up and we say, I am Awesome Annie. I have a thriving health coaching practice. I awaken in others that hope, that desire to be healthy. I walk with them successfully to reach those goals. And being able to stand and walk with them is amazing. And so now I tell people, like I have a coach who is struggling with her own self-doubt. I'm like, no, if you don't believe it, I believe it for you until you believe it in yourself. You are amazing. You are awesome. And to be able to write it on my mirror, I can, I will, I am doing. I have it on my phone. I talk about it to my children. Like whatever you say is true. Your mind will believe it, whether you can or you can't. It's true. It drives me bonkers when my kids say I can't do it. And I'm like, yes, you can do it. You can do it. We talk about, what does the awesome version of Aaron look like at school? What does the awesome version of Adam look like in college? What does the awesome version of Jasmine? What does the awesome version of Julia? What does the awesome version of Joy look like? And like, what does your day look like? I'm doing well. I love school. Yes, the thing is, stress will come. Whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a death in the family, whether it's whatever, storms will come. But knowing that you have an umbrella is life-changing. Knowing that you can stand there and say, this storm does not define me. I will not be prisoner to my past. I will live in the future. I'm going to live in the future. I'm going to act in the now. I am Awesome Annie. I am a motivational speaker. I earn 7 figures a month. I have a best-selling book. Those things haven't happened yet. My mind doesn't know it. I'm speaking it into fruition. I imagine myself walking on stage in a convention of our health coaches and like speaking to them life affirmation, words of wisdom, words of hope, and sharing my story. Like, it's going to happen. I can imagine it. I can taste it. I can feel it. I know what I'm wearing. I love it. And so we as a family, we posture this. I have told my family, before I had a thriving health coaching business, I was speaking it into existence. I have a thriving health coaching business. I'm a fully integrated business coach, coaching clients to better health and coaching other health coaches to grow their health coaching business. Oh, Andrew Marshall. He's one of our networkers in my chapter.
Yeah, I love that. People using other people's accounts, just so you know. I'm assuming he knows Whitney. So he's
I'm
using,
assuming that's his wife.
I'm sure. So I want to get into another one of our takeaways here today. And how do you encourage people to believe in themselves, right? So you're talking about these affirmations, right? But, sometimes I think we say, all right, I'm going to be awesome, Cameron. You're awesome, Annie, right? Um, but sometimes that belief has trouble catching up, right? We still are doubting ourselves. So what are the ways to really get past that doubt and to truly believe in ourselves?
That's a great question. Yeah, I love that. What I tell is say it. It may not be true now, but say it, whether it's health or business or whatever. And I encourage people to write awesome blank your name, put your name there, is not will be or can be or whatever, is whatever that is, whatever that goal is, if it's a financial goal, whether it's a business goal, whether it's a health goal. So I have to start with Awesome Annie is healthy. Awesome Annie wears a size small. Awesome Annie has lost weight, whatever it looks like. So Awesome Annie, so what Awesome Cameron does this, and write it down. There's something about getting it from your mind into your hand onto paper. Write it down. So one of my friends, my health coaches, she was told some devastating news about her business. Someone told her this, and she's like, no, this is not me. And she wrote, that is a lie. And she wrote, I will do whatever it was that her goal was. And yes, that fire, that is a lie. Like, don't allow the negativity of the world to come into our mind. Instead, project and live a life of being awesome, of being amazing, because you are. This world is filled with so much negative, and we have to surround ourselves with positive. So as a health coach, one of the things that I do is I coach my clients, and I surround them with positive thought and positive affirmations. And I encourage them to lean into me, not only when things are great and we're celebrating victories, but even when times are hard, because we will struggle. Stress and anxiety and all of those things, those bad habits will come back. And our human nature is to hide away. I don't want to tell Coach Annie what I did. And instead, no, lean into me. I want to be there and walk you through it, lift you up, be that positive light that you need in those dark times. And number two, I encourage them to surround themselves, whether it's with me and my community or however, whether it's church people, networking groups, surround yourself with a positive community. I can't tell someone you need to live healthy and then put them in a donut store. There's nothing wrong with donuts, but donuts will not get you closer to your health goals. Those ribs, too many ribs, will not get you closer to your health goals. So I want to surround them with a community of people who will encourage them and lift them up. And number three, having that education. Okay, whether it's personal development, business development, health development, what are habits that I need to incorporate in my life that will help me move forward in whatever goals that I'm trying to achieve? So again, speak it into the future, not into the future, speak the future into the present and live it. Like you are working to live. Your body will then naturally create those actions to get you there. So if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, I can never lose the weight, that's what I was telling myself for years. I can never lose the weight. Instead, and so as a result, I was constantly putting on weight. The moment I said, I can do this, Awesome Annie is doing this, it's changed my momentum, it changed my movement, changed my action. The Awesome AC, when you leave this world, all you leave behind are the lives you touch. My friend, Awesome Annie, continue to positively touch so many lives and help others do the same. Oh, thanks.
And then Cindy says, awesome information, Annie. I'm ready.
Yay! I love it. I love it.
And Andrew, under Whitney's account, right? Donuts give me indigestion. I crave them, then I hate them. I think so many things like that, right? There's so many things. I think that's one of the ways that's sort of helped me personally, is understanding what the post effect is going to be after I do that thing, right? It's not so much because I know I'm going to enjoy it on the way down, right? But am I going to enjoy it on the way out, right? That's a big thing to sort of think through the whole action before you jump in. And that has helped me say no many times, not only to food, lots of different things.
Well, the thing about that is, I love that you brought up how you feel, because when I do my weekly calls with my clients, if they tell me, hey, I went off program or I didn't have something that was nutrient dense, I ask them, well, how do you feel? Not guilt. We remove the guilt. There's not emotionally, how do you feel? But physically, how do you feel? Oh my gosh, Annie, I had indigestion. I had to visit the bathroom quite a few times. I was not doing well. I felt sick to my stomach. One of my favorite stories that I like to share is my mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law. I adore her to death. She's an amazing woman of God. It's been hard, this pandemic, being socially distant from my in-laws, especially for James and I, but also for our kids to not see their grandparents. James and I went and visited them around Easter during the pandemic, this in 2020. And sweet woman, she gave this big bag of gifts for our kids, including candy and whatnot, for our children, for our 5 children. And she looked at me, she knows I'm a health coach, and she asked me, she's like, hey, are you going to let your kids eat this? I was like, yeah. And she's like, really? Are you really going to? And I said, yeah. She's like, well, the last time you were here, you didn't let them have candy. I thought, last time we were here was pre-pandemic. We went to a restaurant where they had never-ending pasta, never-ending breadsticks. You treated them to desserts. And then we came back to your house where they had ice cream. And then they asked for candy, and I said no to candy. So, and we talked about it as a family. Like, how did you feel? Like, Mom, I felt so sick to my stomach. I wanted to throw up. It was hard to drive back home. I wanted to pull over, had to go to the bathroom. And she, having that awakening, she's like, oh, so it's Dr. Anderson posture: stop, challenge, choose. Again, is what you're about to eat going to get you closer to your health goals or farther away? And then make that decision. It's not a cheat, it's a choice. If I choose to eat this cake or this ice cream, I can either take 3 bites, satisfy that craving, and move on. Or if I, like the old Annie would be like, I'm going to eat this bowl of ice cream and the rest that's in the fridge. And what happened? I was sick the next day, just not doing well. So it's about that mindset.
I love that. And I think the mindset there is so comparable to everything that you do in your life, right? Is this activity that I'm doing right now at my desk or with my children, is it getting me closer to where I want to go in life with my business, with my work, with my children, with my spouse, with, my home? Is this activity helpful? And sometimes those frivolous, kind of behaviors, maybe, zoning out to Netflix, maybe that's something that's going to be helpful in the long run because you need a break. Mm-hmm. Sometimes maybe it's time to turn that off and focus on things where it's going to actually improve my outcomes. Maybe it's turning it off and going to sleep. Maybe it's turning, stopping with the fork because I'm at that point of the night where, and I know this is the trap that I often fall into, I'm tired, and rather than go to sleep, I eat. Right? Those kinds of things, right? Jacqueline Vasquez, thanks for watching. Jacqueline, mindset is everything, right? And I think, the more we sort of bring this kind of stuff over to everything, right? It's not one sort of thinking for food and a whole nother set of thinking for exercise and a whole nother set of thinking for business, kind of going back to some of the questions I was asking before, how you fit it all in. It's there is sort of a pattern here in the thinking on how you do things. Obviously some different strategies, reaching out to somebody like yourself. I think it's you don't want to reach out to somebody that is a IT person that has all the masters, spent all their time working on IT, educated themselves on how to, connect things and wires and all that for your ultimate health knowledge. You probably want to talk to somebody that educated themselves on that. But in terms of the actual, making decisions and processes, I think you've laid out something here for folks that they can really use, and then certainly follow up with you if they're looking for more information. Jacqueline says, great chat today. Thank you, Jacqueline. So,
thank you, Jacqueline.
Talk to us, Annie. How can people get in touch with Awesome Annie? I know I got their LinkedIn address down below so they can get in touch with you on LinkedIn. What are other ways that people can reach out to you, and who are you trying to connect with?
I love it. Thank you for asking. So the best way, I have a website. It's right now linked to my calendar. One day soon, it will be an amazing website with testimonials or whatever. But right now, I'm happy that it's linked to my calendar, awesomeIsAmazing.com. And there's one that says chat with Awesome Annie to see if what I coach is a good fit for you. And it talks about some goals that I have. I want to awaken in you. What are things that you want to achieve? And it may be weight loss, but it might be better energy, feeling confident, maybe even learning what it means to be a health coach. So good synergy partner, anyone who's looking to shed the weight for life, like wants to stop the chains of yo-yo dieting, I'd be honored to see what I coach. There's a program for, all walks of life, right? I have something for senior citizens, for teenagers, teen girls, teen boys, nursing mothers, diabetic patients, like there's something for everyone there. Other great synergy partners, I would love to chat with anyone in the healthcare industry, doctors, pediatricians, chiropractors, someone who would want to bring a healthy, sustainable way of weight loss to their patients. Orthopedic surgeons, for example, they have these clients who are looking to spend money on changing, like getting a knee replacement or a hip replacement. But one of the key issues is being overweight, and I want to be able to help them to have a sustainable way of weight loss so that they can really have that surgery be an optimal surgery for the rest of their life. That is anyone in the doctors, pharmacists. So on my coaching team, I have doctors, I have nurses, I've got pharmacists. It's amazing. Being healthy is awesome. Being awesome is amazing. Being on this side of hope is amazing. And I would love to chat more with you. You can find me at awesomeIsAmazing.com. Thank you so much, Cameron, for having me.
Oh, thank you. Say goodbye to everybody. We'll play us all off with the BizDev theme. You are amazing. You are awesome. Annie, thank you so much for sharing this information for us. There's a lot of information that I think we know. I talked about the idea that exercise is important. I don't think anybody needs to educate us necessarily on the importance of exercise, but the inspiration, the motivation, the accountability, somebody holding us to the grindstone, right? To really say, hey, this is something that you need to be doing, checking in with us every once in a while. So this was an amazing, very awesome check-in, Annie. Thank you so much for doing this. I'll let you say the last word here, maybe give a little bit of motivation and just let everybody know once again where they can find you, and I'll play us off with the BizDev theme.
I love it. Your homework assignment after this is to look in the mirror and say, I am awesome. Just look in the mirror and just say, I am awesome. And I want you to say it until you believe it, because you are awesome. Being awesome is amazing. You can find me at awesomeIsAmazing.com. Bye, everyone.
BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. This is business development, not even selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation, empathy and inspiration. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDev Live, weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T. Biz D with C, brought to you by Cameron T.